Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's two main topics I want to discuss in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, including this one on your screen here. There's the headline from you today. XRP co-creator reacts to alarm regarding potential tether-fueled bubble. And so this is interesting to me for a number of reasons. I highlighted in a recent video that there's a campaign from a non-profit entity highlighting that Tether, the claims anyway, are that Tether is an actual Ponzi scheme. They're actually running advertisements in Times Square in New York. I mean, it's a pretty big thing actually. And then also, this is happening as Brad Garlinghouse in recent weeks has said that the United States government is going to be coming for Tether. And he seemed very confident that is indeed the case. And, he's in the know. He knows people in high places in the world of crypto. He's probably heard something, which is why he's so confidently saying that, presumably anyway. And that's also happening as Ripple is in the process of launching their own stablecoin. So I find all of this fascinating, but there's perspective from David Schwartz on an aspect of this, and I want to talk about this. And I don't know that I necessarily disagree with David Schwartz, but I do want to add a couple of things. Maybe I technically disagree a little bit, but he's the genius. So, and I'm a huge fan of David Schwartz. So, who am I to disagree with David Schwartz? But no, I think he makes excellent points. There's probably really more so just like a couple of things I want to add to it. But on top of that, like I want to highlight. I'm actually going to start the video with this. There are so many people that are down in the dumps as it pertains to XRP price action, but one of my favorite analysts out there shared a post, and I got to share this with you because it's powerful and it makes a great point, that when things seem dismal, it doesn't matter. And he shared an example of a coin that's not XRP, where the attitude was just as bad, and it had insane volatility, both to the upside and the downside, and the volatility to the downside, when it almost fully retraced back to where it was before it moved to the upside, that didn't mean the party was over. The party had barely even started. And it's the same thing. It's just, people are treating coins, in many cases, fairly similarly. And of course, there are many metrics that speculators look at that will impact how price goes. But I'm just saying, if you're talking about a coin that is going to have some level of staying power at this juncture in time in the world of crypto, well, if it applies to that coin, it sure as hell applies to XRP. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, and so there was a post from somebody on social media platform X who goes by the name Moonrocket, and he wrote, I'm a small minnow in crypto, but I can't fathom that my CRV, a different cryptocurrency, could go up 19x from here. I mean, I'd probably take a lot of profit before then, but still. So 19x, could it really do that? Could CRV really go 19x? So that was reposted by Credible Crypto, and he makes this incredible point about Cardano. Now, I don't care if you hold Cardano or don't. I happen to. I've been holding Cardano since late 2017. I bought it for whatever, like a couple pennies, whatever it was at the time. And I do still hold Cardano, and I even bought it since then at a way higher price comparatively. And check out what he had to say, because like people don't get it. Like, something can start at a very low price. Like, remember when XRP was about half a penny, and then it can go way up, and then it can go way back down and almost touch that. And that in and of itself does not mean the ride is over. And not that XRP even is doing that literally the second. It's certainly not, we're not at that level of despair in terms of price action, but still people are not happy with what's happening. But I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter what those people feel right now. That is not an indication of whether or not XRP is going to have another euphoria run like it did in late 2017 and early 2018. The price action that we've been experiencing the last 6 years in and of itself is not an indication of whether or not XRP goes to zero or hits a new all-time high. It's just range-bound. And so, what my conviction is, I think we do ultimately hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. But look at this. So Credible Crypto is talking about Cardano here in the journey that it went on price-wise. And I want to highlight this to show you it's not just our community that has people that start feeling like this. It's every community, because every cryptocurrency that has and they all have communities, right? They all go through the ups and downs of price action. All of them. Period. So if you think that you picked a wrong coin or a bad coin, like, are you sure the asset class moves in tandem, man? Are you sure about that? So anyway, Credible Crypto wrote the following. Just a reminder to help with this, since I know a lot of people struggle with the idea that some of these coins that are down a lot can not only recover, but also go on to make new all-time highs. After hitting $1.30 in 2018 from under a penny, Cardano went on to drop down to under 2 cents by 2020. It then rallied 160x and hit $3 plus, nearly 3 times above its prior all-time high that was put in during the last cycle top wave of late 2017/2018. And that too, despite all the hate and shade Cardano gets in general in this space, LOL. You guys don't understand what's coming in the next 6 months or so. Okay, that is proper perspective. That is what I'm talking about. That is absolutely correct, and there's no shortage of data to show frequently coins are treated in such a way. And I know that there are some coins that may never come back in terms of all-time high. Fine. But we're talking about XRP here. A coin that's actually, like, you pick your metric, you tell me what you think is important. I've talked about what the market is showing us they think is important. I've talked about that ad nauseum. But, you know, Cardano does get a lot of hate. Like, I own a lot of coins that get a lot of hate, though. Like, tons of coins get a lot of hate. I mean, my HBAR, my Cardano, my XRP really gets it. You know, even from people outside. So, like, there's some self-disgust, like, from people that are like, I hold this crap coin, it's not going higher. Okay, fine. But there's a lot of hate from outside of the community as well. And so there's some of that definitely geared towards Cardano. I do see that. That is true. Same with HBAR. There's a bunch of other coins where that's true. But I'd say it's more pronounced with XRP. You know, XRP's been the punching bag of the entire crypto space for like a decade now. So, okay. Like, that's not news to me. But I'm just highlighting it is the case. Similarly, there. The fact that that price action happened, the up and then the down, it didn't mean the party was over. And so my point is, look at all the price action that's led XRP to this point. That does not indicate that the party is somehow over, just because it is where it is now and you'd prefer that it goes higher. Either it's going to go to zero or it's hitting a new all-time high. It won't stay here forever. It cannot, and it will not. And so I just wanted to share with you, you're not the only one going through this. It's every person in every single community, right? They're all dealing with this stuff. It's normal. So don't beat yourself up because you can't control the markets. There's this post also from chart analyst Nick Crypto Crusader, and he said, it really does feel like the majority will miss this next move completely. They are expecting lower, not realizing this next wave is the beginning of the largest moves of the cycle. They were warned multiple times, and it's up to them to choose their path. Are you prepared for this next move? And so my conviction is, and fine, I could be wrong, I absolutely acknowledge that. My conviction is what's most probable is a massive move to the upside, expansion in the market here and in the stock market. XRP will come along for the ride if that happens, and I think that's what's most probable. Now onto this. XRP co-creator reacts to alarm regarding potential tether-fueled bubble. So this story is always fascinating to me. And, I've never gone so far as to claim that Tether is a Ponzi, because I don't have any evidence of that. I just find it suspect that Tether is not sufficiently transparent, and they very clearly aren't. If you've got, if every single Tether coin is actually backed as they claim, then prove it. And they make up this BS, well, it's going to ruin our proprietary secret. No, shut the hell up. Just give us a damn third-party audit. Just prove it. It's not going to ruin your damn business model. That's a cop-out. That's complete garbage. And that makes me more skeptical of them. Like, I don't know what's going on, but to me, that's a red flag. So I don't have an accusation against them. I'm just saying, doesn't pass the smell test. The behavior does not pass the smell test. And so I don't need to read the article. Here's what they were actually talking about. There was a post from a Black Swan Capitalist who wrote the following. The revolving door between Tether, Bitcoin, and the U.S. bond market is very concerning. Tether artificially produces fake liquidity to buy Bitcoin and prop up the U.S. bond market. Buying bonds and other countries are dumping. Tether is fueling the largest financial bubble in history. Okay, now that last sentence, that is a huge claim against Tether. I'm not making that claim. He is making that claim. Fueling the largest financial bubble in history. Now, I will say this. If that nonprofit I was referencing earlier in the video, if they're correct, if this is an actual Ponzi and it's not backed, yeah, we got problems. Because that means that they are printing, in that case, Tether out of thin air and then purchasing Bitcoin with it when that money... They're basically... It's like they're taking on the role of the Fed, like just printing money like crazy, as if they can just do it. Because it's the same result. Because, you know, it's supposed to be pegged to the dollar, right? But if there's nothing back to it, like it's the same as just creating new money and then going on a buying spree. That would be a problem. That would talk about a black swan event. That would be huge. That would be disastrous. Now, I will say, even if that were the case, my net worth will go down substantially as crypto markets collapse, and then I will buy the ashes. I will buy the blood in the streets because I keep earning new money. I won't care. I'm not going to be stressed in the least because this asset class is not going away. Even if that hypothetical happened, and I'm not saying it will, I'm just telling you how I'd behave, just fun topic of conversation. I'd buy the hell out of that. Back up the truck. I got to get new trucks. I need more, tons of trucks. Back them all up. Got to buy this crap. But David Schwartz responded to that, and he has a different perspective. He said, this is how everything works. Bitcoin, banking, loans, everything. You mine a Bitcoin and I buy it for $65,000. Where before there was only $65,000, now there's $65,000 and also $65,000 worth of Bitcoin. Everything is like this. And so I broadly agree with that, but I do want to add a point of clarification to where I don't know if it means maybe I technically slightly disagree or if maybe it's a nuanced approach that perhaps he wasn't thinking of in the moment. I don't know what he'd think of this. Nothing but love and respect for David Schwartz. I just think it's fun to go through like thought exercises on topics like this. But he is broadly speaking right. I mean, for example, you know, if you go into a bank and you get a loan and you're approved for that loan, like that's new money coming into existence. Because it's not like, because mind you, like banks aren't even required to hold reserves anymore. That happened during the pandemic. They don't even have to hold any actual funds, which I know is crazy, but that's real life. And so anyway, if you get approved for a loan, though, that's it's new money comes into existence, and yeah, it's in the form of debt, like that's your debt, but you can really go and spend it in the economy. So in that sense, it's new real money, right? And so that's the case. It comes into existence here. So that can certainly happen. But there's a couple nuances to consider. For example, because again, he said everything is like this. Well, I can think of one where it's not quite like that, actually. What about tokenization? I mean, if you want to tokenize, like tanks, like military tanks, like say you want to tokenize those, right? That's an asset that the government owns. If you tokenize that so that it's represented on a blockchain, where's the value? The value is in the actual tank. The tokenization of that is just a representation of the value that is not the token. So in that case, it actually wouldn't. In that case, the real value is in the tank, and then the token just represents it. So in an instance like that, not the case. Now, as far as Tether, though, sure. I mean, you know, if new Tether's being, as long as it's backed, and if it is really, truly 100% backed, okay, we don't have a problem. But like I was saying a couple minutes ago, if it's not backed, that's where if that ever comes crashing down, and all Ponzi's do eventually fail, that's going to be a bad day. That's going to be a real bad day for the markets. And I hope if that ever happens, I hope that it's well past this market cycle. Like, let us get our life-changing wealth first. And I'm not going so far as to predict that's going to happen because, like I said, I'm nowhere near that. I just think it's fishy how they're acting. That's about as far as I've gotten with it, right? But XRP community member Adam Chesney responded to David Schwartz and wrote, "What is giving Tether the $65,000 of value to buy the Bitcoin? When they just print fiat, they also just print Tether with no cap on supply." And David Schwartz responded, "It makes no difference whether someone does or doesn't. The newly created Tether is newly created value, and no existing value is destroyed. Same for bank deposits, same for loans, same for Bitcoin mining." And so on that point, I certainly do agree. I was just trying to make a couple points. One of them, pretty big point, frankly, which is this better not be a Ponzi. Like, that nonprofit better be incorrect. I do not want this to be a Ponzi scheme. But if that's the case, yeah, like it's all in the up and up. I mean, if it's the case that it's newly created and real money's put into that and it's backed by the dollar to make that this Tether exists, yeah, cool. I have no issue with that. That would not be the creation of some sort of bubble or anything like that. I certainly agree with David Schwartz on that point, which I think was the biggest point that he was making, probably, right? But interesting food for thought. You guys tell me what you think, especially about this Tether stuff. And I mean, just the fact that Ripple's coming out with their own stablecoin, and this is the backdrop of what's going on. It's just fascinating. It's like it's a really fascinating time to be alive and be in crypto. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.